Well, just a few days after the turkey, stuffing, and pumpkin pie have been consumed, it will be time to celebrate the Festival of Lights. Hanukkah begins Saturday the 28th, and here to share more about this sacred holiday and how our Jewish neighbors will be celebrating is Brandon Fish, Director of Community Outreach for the Charleston Jewish Federation. Good to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So, Hanukkah is coming early this year. It changes from year to year.
It does.
Can you tell us why the Jewish calendar changes those days so drastically?
Sure. So the Jewish calendar is thousands of years older actually than the calendar that we use every day, and it's based on the moon, and so it doesn't line up with our regular calendar every year. So which day Hanukkah falls on the Jewish calendar changes on the regular calendar every year. And it's like that with all the Jewish holidays, actually.
That's true. And is this considered a pretty early start?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is pretty early. A lot of times it's right around the same time as Christmas, which is great because you don't always get time off, especially kids in school for on the same time as Jewish holidays. But we'll take Hanukkah whenever we can get it.
Absolutely, most definitely. And what I think is so interesting, and what I think a lot of people don't realize, is that there are deep Jewish roots here in Charleston.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the history of Judaism here in this town?
Sure. Well, Carolina was actually one of the first colonies to allow Jewish people to immigrate in the United States. And for a very long time, Charleston was actually the center of the Jewish population for the entire country. I think the first Jewish people settled in Charleston in 1695. And there's some family, we have actually the oldest Reformed synagogue in continuous, I think maybe even the oldest synagogue in continuous use in North America. Right here downtown, it's where I'm a member, called KKBE. And there are families that go there whose families have been going there for hundreds of years.
That's amazing.
So really the Jewish roots here are very deep, and this has been a great place for Jewish people to live for a very long time.
How do you think the Charleston community embraces, understands the Jewish culture?
I think this has been a great place for Jewish people for many years. My family grew up here, my grandparents grew up here. It's been a place where Jewish people have lived for hundreds of years, but also a place where Jewish people from other places have come and settled, and it's a place really where we're happy to say that a lot of people are continuing to come and want to live, because it's a great place to raise a family for anybody, Jewish or not Jewish.
Absolutely, most definitely, I agree with that. So what is going to happen during the Hanukkah holidays? So it's 8 nights.
Yes.
If you ask Adam Sandler, it's 8 crazy nights, right? But in all honesty, I mean, it's a very solemn, sacred holiday. So families will be celebrating it. But what typically happens on each day, and how is Charleston going to celebrate?
Well, Hanukkah is really a celebration of resilience and being able to practice our religion, and it is the same custom for each night. Usually, families will gather together with their kids and light the Hanukkah, which a lot of people know as the menorah, and there are gifts associated with each night, as there is with Christmas. And there are actually a lot of really great community events going on throughout the community. So everybody kind of celebrates in different ways. Hanukkah kicks off this year, as it does most years, with a huge event organized by Chabad of the Lowcountry and Yashik Arnold Jewish Studies Center at the college. It's called Hanukkah in the Square. That takes place in Marion Square. There'll be lots of food and activities, and it's open to everyone. There's also, for Jewish families, our organization is offering Hanukkah kits so that kids have an activity for every night of Hanukkah. People can find those on our website. And then something that we're organizing that we think is really important and connects to the story of Hanukkah for the middle of Hanukkah is something called the Shine a Light on Anti-Semitism program. And we're hoping to hear from some state legislators. People are going to, Jewish and not Jewish, are going to craft little makeshift lanterns to shine a light on anti-Semitism and hate. And we're going to get together as a community on Zoom, really across the entire state of South Carolina.
That's wonderful.
And talk about these issues and talk about one of the big things that the Jewish community is working on, which is passing a hate crime law in South Carolina. We're one of 2 states that doesn't have a law that penalizes hate crimes in a special way. Yeah. So, another thing that people do is they get really into charity on Hanukkah, as people do during Christmas and Thanksgiving. And our Jewish community actually gets together one night, some of the synagogues, and lights the menorah in front of a local grocery store, and usually it's grocery stores around the Lowcountry, and they'll purchase food to bring to the Lowcountry Food Bank, usually thousands of pounds of food every year. So,
and boy, do we need it. I mean, ever since last year, and especially during the winter time as well, that's when it's most needed. Well, Brandon, I've learned so much from you. Thank you so much.
Sure,
Appreciate your time.
I'm happy to be here.
And happy
Thank
Hanukkah.
you.
We're back after this.